This is an original piece entitled Crustless Bread. I was at the grocery store when something caught my eye, and it immediately raised my ire to the flashpoint of boiling every fiber of my being in a concentrated hatred so thick it would make regular bile taste like lemonade. And as I stood there, standing between the garlic rolls and cinnamon buns, staring at this abomination to nature, this evil perversion passed off as something edible that reeked of corporate greed, GMOs, international patents, the destruction of humanity, and the degradation of the human spirit, it stared back. Crustless bread. Crustless bread. And as the words utter from my throat and flick across my tongue like a Zippo over gasoline, that bile is sent aflame, and my brain is ripped into overdrive, imagining this sick scenario, the unholy ritual against all that is right and good that birthed this sin upon the world for it to suffer. It starts with an innocent, cash-strapped, student loan-riddled bastard, freshly graduated masters in the thermodynamics of biological reactions. He gets headhunted by Pfizer. First assignment, crustless bread. No problem, bake the bread, cut the crust off, you're good to go. An answer for which he is subsequently slapped across the face, the irony of which we'll get back to later. We can't own that. We can't patent that process. No, we need the bread to come out sans crust. It'll save us billions in packaging, and besides, the marketing strategy is already a done deal. We're gonna get John Hamm to eat a crustless bread ham sandwich, and if we do that, AMC will owe us a favor. Maybe get some zombies, eat some crustless bread brain sandwiches. That'll go over huge with our main demographics. The investors will love it. So for that reason, we're gonna need you to go ahead and recalibrate the fundamental building blocks of nature so that we can own a wheat germ that doesn't develop a crust after it reacts with yeast and is exposed to temperatures of about 325 degrees. Okay, get it? Got it? Good? Great. And as he stood there burning the midnight oil trying to make those suits another buck, he realized he wasn't curing cancer like he always wanted. No, instead of oncology, this recipe against a loving God probably won't even get inspected by the FDA because the agent assigned will get bribed with nixsticks and a handy from a cheerleader to rubber stamp something that for all he knows will cause future generations to grow unnecessary organs and or tumors. Not that there was time to test for anything like that. Products went to market so fast there wasn't time for whiplash, let alone realize he was not only contributing to explosions in obesity, but thanks to filing just one more GM patent, the camel's back snapped on the international wheat market rates and developing nations got priced out. Thousands of Africans starved, but that's okay. Many crustless bread sandwiches will be served at the funerals. And as he finally fathomed the horror that he had brought upon the world, our poor, plucky young scientist knew he'd become a tainted soul and blew his brains out across the wall. But before they could pick the gray matter out from between the water cooler, another young buck had taken his place. And can you imagine a greater crime against humanity than to take the most powerful thing in the observed universe, an intelligent, scientific mind, and instead of allowing it to cure the evils that plague mankind, we force it to toil and bend to the whim of investors. And whatever market research tells them is going to be the next big thing, like say if variables indicate a significant demographic of high-income suburban housewives consistently complain that their children whined every time they forgot to cut the crusts off again, well, the obvious recourse is to create a genetically modified solution to this slight inconvenience. And here is where the irony becomes unbearable. Because if those mothers had utilized the aforementioned slap to the face and informed their children that kids in Africa don't have crusts to cut off, there wouldn't have been a market for that one more GM wheat germ, and less Africans would have starved. And we wonder why aliens don't grace us with their presence. They're looking for intelligent life too. They checked us out. They're still looking. Because any species that has the audacity to simultaneously suffer from epidemics of starvation and obesity, that takes its best and brightest minds and puts them to the task of inflating the imaginary value paper of greasy industrialists, and has historically shown that its resolve towards the concept of nuclear Armageddon can at best be described as shaky, probably gets disqualified from eligibility into membership of an interplanetary community and the resulting body politic. So thank you, crustless bread, for not only killing that scientist, but science. Thank you for starving children and diabetes. Thank you for being one more link in the chain of global corporate human slavery. But most of all, crustless bread, thank you for keeping us out of the interstellar Milky Way galactic legislature!